What's up? It is eSports here live on a Friday from St. Thomas Sports Park up in the terrace with Lake Amulet behind us. That is actually a pond that is not moving much at all.
What's the name of it?
Lake Amulet. You know that?
News to me.
Oh my gosh, Lake Amulet here at Nissan,
Sure.
at essentially St. Thomas Sports Park. But Easton having a bonus practice today because the Titans are mid. So we're actually going to detail why the Titans are having an extra padded practice today here from St. Thomas Sports Park. So we're going to have a good show. Then we'll talk a little about Scary Terry McLaurin officially requesting the trade from the Washington Commanders. So we'll discuss that. I have a theory about maybe I don't know if the Titans have interest. I just have a theory that if they have interest.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that I am as responsible as possible, Easton,
right,
when I say that.
No, I think we hear you. You think the Titans are going to sign Terry McLaurin?
Sign him, yeah. Because the Commanders are going to cut him.
Yes.
So trade for him.
Yep.
Yeah. Then we'll have some good news to wrap up this week because we've got 3 days of training camp practice in a row. So it's going to be a busy, busy weekend. Easton, let's get this thing locked and loaded.
Yeah, going to be a good show for you guys today. Excited to be doing it here live from Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. And it's going to be
what's the lake called?
Amulet?
There you go.
Inuit? I don't even know what you said. Amulet? Okay, Amulet.
Amulet.
Learned what the lake is today, so we've already learned something new. Excited to talk about the mid-Titans and what they could possibly show us this weekend that could leave us Monday morning jumping on the show saying, maybe not so mid anymore. So going to be a good show. Lock in and like the show for us on Facebook, on YouTube. Hit that like button. It's very easy. It's free. It's very helpful for us. And then jump in the comments like Jeremy and Garrett, Jason, Sergi, Jeffrey, Titans, Kyle, some familiar faces in there this morning. Good morning to all of you guys. I want to hear your thoughts on the Titans ahead of a very exciting weekend of practices.
Yep, let's get it going officially. Welcome to A to Z Sports here live on a Friday. I'm Austin Stanley. He is Easton Freeze, our Titans reporter for A2ZSports.com. We're Nashville's on-demand sports.network going live weekday mornings at 8 Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Link to the show segment by segment on our Twitter X timeline. Also hit us up on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads for more great Titans content. Give us a 5-star Google review. It goes a long way for our company as a whole. And got to thank our sponsors because they make it happen for us and they help out all of you. Wilson County Hyundai, make them a part of your new car buying process. Go see them in Lebanon or online, wilsoncountyhyundai.com. The Bone and Joint Institute, boneandjointtn.org, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care. And Barton Drury Insurance Group, customized solutions for all of your insurance needs. They are local and online at bartondrury.com. Easton, the Titans have gathered us here today for a practice that was not on the schedule because they're mid. Tell us more detail than just that.
Brothers and sisters, we are gathered here today at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park because the Titans have not passed away, but they are a team that desperately needs some extra practice. That's the going story for this morning. We were texted, when was it, 2 nights ago?
Wednesday
evening. Hey, by the way, we're going to add a practice on Friday, a padded practice, a thing that I actually didn't know that they could do. Apparently they can do it per the NFLPA bylaws, and it is because they feel like they need it. This is a team that wants to get as much early work in as possible. We know how the first couple of days of padded practice have gone. Not a disaster by any means, but they are working through what I think is fair to deem some growing pains with so much newness, so much youth on this team, youth in important positions that they want to get as much. I really think that the joint practice schedule that they have might be a driving catalyst of this. The fact that they don't want to go to Tampa Bay this time next week, less than a week from now, and not have their act together, right? That's embarrassing, 1. And 2, joint practices can't really be productive if you are still having to work on yourself so much that you can't focus on working against another team. And so that's what this team is doing. They're getting their house in order with a long weekend of padded practices. Today was already going to be a practice. It's not like they, took away a day of rest from the players. Sort of. It was going to be a walkthrough. So these guys are going to be a little bit sore than they otherwise would have been at the end of the weekend. But I'd imagine that folks, at least in the Cam Ward mindset camp on this team, would agree that this is probably the right thing to do, a good thing to do for this team to try to fight their midness right now.
Yeah, so like as you mentioned, this was going to be like a walkthrough type practice. The media was not going to be out here. And so the fans are not out here today because I saw King VC with a super chat coming in here, and we'll just answer his questions. 2 things. Lock in, like the show. The show is not mid.
That's
2,
true.
are the practices free to the public or is it ticketed based? Yes, it's both. It's both free and ticketed, right?
But I'm pretty sure the ones here are free. Actually,
they are free.
I think so.
But they are not just like show up all. You have to have an appointment. You have to have a reservation. You have to have access to join it for free.
Table for two at Ascension St. Thomas.
Yes, for sure. So, but today there are no fans because this was not planned. The extra practice is because they need it. And as you mentioned, one joint practice that we know of that the media will be there is next Thursday in Tampa.
Right.
They will practice Wednesday in Nashville, Wednesday morning, and then somehow turn around and practice in Tampa the next day against the Bucks.
Aggressive.
Which is a lot of. I mean, look, it's an easy flight, Nashville, Tampa. I'll be doing that here in a few months, but not like with a football practice on either side of that flight. It's kind of crazy to me. So will they have the same type of practice Wednesday morning that they were planning on having, or are they swapping Wednesday morning and today? That's kind of an idea that I think could make sense for the players.
I'm going to guess it depends on how this weekend goes.
Yes.
To be honest with you.
Because it's not just today. It already on the schedule, Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. practices. So now 3 consecutive days of padded practice for the Titans. The weather is amazing.
Unbelievable.
It's August 1st, and we got blessed from a scorcher of July. August is off to a fantastic start. I don't think it's going to hit 80 degrees until practice might end. And then tomorrow and Sunday are going to be along the same line. So maybe extra good work with the sun and the heat, not just putting us all through a blender over the weekend. So, Easton, let's go ahead and get the audience involved here more, because I do think we've kind of talked through the reason why the Titans are needing extra work here. But what's one thing the Titans can show the next 3 days to convince us that they are less mid? I think that is the question we're going to throw out there. What is one thing the Titans can show us over the next 3 practices to convince us that they are less mid? We're just going to go and buy into the bit of Cam Ward, the mid-off of how many times can we say mid on the show? How many times will Cam Ward describe his practice and his play as
Cam
mid?
has got more old people using that word than anyone in human history. I think it's the city of Nashville is going to single-handedly make mid no longer a cool kid term.
Yes, probably, and especially when the local news anchor has to say it,
right.
Describe it like in a TV package, and you have like the news, the TV news audience like mid.
When News Channel 4 is working mid into their vernacular, that's when the kids move on to something else.
Oh, it's so funny. All right, but we will get to your answers here on that. So what can the Titans do over the next 3 days to convince us that they are less mid by adding an extra practice? But first, I want to tell you guys all about our friends at the Bone and Joint Institute, boneandjointtn.org, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care. When an injury happens in life, you have to know who you can turn to and who you can trust to take care of that injury the right way. Get off of the couch, get onto the road to recovery. Don't let that injury influence your social life, your family life, your work, your life in general. You deserve to be healthy and have a fulfilling life and not be in pain all the time. So the folks at the Bone and Joint Institute have all the experts, the doctors, they get the physical therapists, the support staff, and all the equipment and resources to make it easy on you. Check them out online, boneandjointtn.org.
So much more to say, but first make sure you've liked the show and then go to Google, search ATOZ Sports, hit that 5th star on the right, leave us a 5-star Google review. We really appreciate those. All right, Austin, so the question is, what is something the Titans can do the next 3 mornings of practice to leave you thinking on Monday morning that they are not quite as mid as they otherwise were? Do we want to turn to the chat, or do you have an answer?
Let's go to the chat. Do you want it? Can you stretch Armstrong your arm out there to check the chat?
I am widely known for my general length, so let me handle that with ease. Tall Texan says yes, they can practice more. If I know how to click, there we go. Competency is what Jeff is looking for. Less interceptions would be a nice place to start.
Can we be a little more vague, Jeff?
Yeah, well, I mean, he did cover all the bases there, I'm afraid, so that's a reasonable answer. Richie G says Dan Moore not be bad, which is an interesting thing to say, considering we've not said that Dan Moore's been bad. I think that's just an assumption on your part. Wide receivers run faster. Well, their speed, I don't think, is the issue. It's all the other things right now. This team is significantly faster than they otherwise were. Ira Hoshi, less interceptions, a good place to start. Garrett says, I bet this practice is going to favor Cam's strengths and they throw less at him to build confidence. going into the road trip. I think they wanted to humble him a little bit. Well, that is coming eventually, as we've talked about on the morning show, that they're going to be putting him and the offense into some more neutral game script situations, whereas this first 2 weeks now has been defense, advantage defense for the most part.
For sure.
I just don't know when that's coming. And Garrett, you may be right that maybe this weekend is when that shift comes, and the juice around here has an uptick because the laymen, us included, watching are like, oh, look, deep passes and touchdowns and celebrations. So
let me just add something to this too, because Nick Holtz, Titans offensive coordinator, went on Buck Rising show the other day after practice and said the Titans are not script pimping the practices, which Buck did publish an article this morning at A2ZSports.com diving more into that. Script pimping. What is script pimping? It's just saying, hey, let's give. They're going to run cover 3 here. They're going to run this coverage, that look, that front, this blitz, this pressure simulation. Let's work on that and knowing ahead of time to set that up. Now it is a flying blind situation. There is no autopilot. There is no GPS on the dash, even though some people mess up the GPS on the dash when they have it and are late by 10 minutes or so.
Can you imagine?
I can't imagine that. So there's no script pimping going on with the Titans practices. And so I thought that was an interesting nugget there from Nick Holtz. Maybe Garrett's saying, will they start to lean off of that a little bit and just maybe give more intentional work on, hey, here, let's work on this particular look. I don't know. Well, I don't know how you go away from not doing that and doing that.
Well, you just change the script of the practice. I mean, you're going to have to, it's going to be a switch that has to flip eventually, because you do need to practice more than just the hard stuff. The hard stuff is important to practice, and that's why they're practicing it first. But Garrett kind of has what my answer was.
Okay.
So we've kind of already covered my answer, is that I'm not somebody that is particularly bothered by the midness or the lack of juice so far in practice. I understand where that sentiment is coming from, but I do think that the context of what they're trying to work and why matters more than the sentiment of, no disrespect, a bunch of radio hosts standing on the sideline looking for fun things to talk about on the radio. So I think that it's about perception more than reality, this question. Like, what can we as a media perceive this weekend to be more exciting, even if from a coaching standpoint, it's not necessarily any more important or any more impressive. And so that's my answer, is put them in more neutral situations, lean into some of the things that are more juicy to those of us watching.
What if it's just to take the governor off of it? You know?
That's basically what I'm saying. And
open it up a little bit.
I don't know that they're going to do that. I don't know that they necessarily need to do that yet. I do agree with Garrett that they probably should do that from a confidence standpoint before they get over to Tampa. But whether that's today on Friday, or if it's on Sunday, or maybe it's on Wednesday, I don't know. That may be a good question for Brian Callahan today. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and nobody steal that. I'm going to ask that. So that's my answer, is they could change the way that they're practicing to make it look sexier to us watching.
Yeah. So top tier, more cohesion and rhythm in the offense. I see Titans Kyle says timing and communication needs to improve. So those are
these things are all true, but that's the growing pains of a new offense, right?
For sure. And new people in a new offense for everybody and all that.
This is your training camp 13?
Yes.
Have you ever been to a training camp where in July you're like, man, these guys are all really on the same page?
I haven't said it yet. The defense is usually ahead of the offense. That's early in training camp. That's the annual
training camp anecdote.
Yes,
right
the
there.
annual
Did you know the defenses tend to be ahead of the offenses?
That was my first time. It's August 1st. I went the whole July.
I've not heard anybody say this, but I'm starting to think.
Honestly, I don't think I've heard anybody say that this year.
I heard it once, and I forget what. It's on somebody's radio station. Somebody mentioned it. It may have been Coach Mack, honestly.
Which makes sense.
Classic.
Yes. But so I was going to ask you a question about the rhythm and timing, because they can have solid rhythm and timing on a governed down offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not only are they not being explosive intentionally, but are they still lacking the rhythm and timing within the tightened, I guess, lesson game plan?
So I hear what you're saying. And to be clear, I am not saying that they're actually doing everything great. You just don't realize it because they're doing specific stuff. That's not what I'm saying. I think both things are true, that they are not tight yet, and they are doing things that make them look even worse than they would otherwise look. And so of course, all of the growing pains that we have seen as I think as partially a result of it being July, but also as partially a result of them doing the hard things. Like a part of doing the practices the way they've been doing them is to try to uncover these growing pains early, right? Like that's I don't know that I'm not saying it's some stroke of brilliance from the coaching staff. I don't know, but I do know that that's their intention from having spoken to them is let's see what we can uncover now. It's kind of like, peek behind the curtain at A to Z Sports this week. We have chosen the perfect time of year to migrate the site from different CMSs behind the scenes. You don't care, but the importance of this comparison is that the managerial staff here at A to Z Sports has made it their full-time job this week to try to break stuff, right? Let's just see what we can break. Let's uncover the problems now so that we don't all get used to it. And then a month later, we're finding all of these things.
It's true.
It's kind of what the coaching staff is doing with the offenses. Let's try to break stuff now and try to fix it now so that we have more time to work on it.
And it is a pain in the ass right now. Don't get me wrong. But I'd rather it be a pain in the ass now than a pain in the ass in week 3.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. What defense are the Titans facing in week 1, Easton?
They are facing the Denver Broncos.
The defense ran by whom?
Ran by blanking on his name because I'm bad with names.
I thought you had this. JT.
Vance Joseph. I got there eventually. Vance Joseph. Very good. A man that I know. I'm just bad with names.
And I did not prepare you for this.
When I'm put on the spot with names, I freeze.
Yes. What jersey number does Brock Purdy wear?
Oh, brother. I don't know that. 4? I don't know. 2? 1?
It's 13.
13?
Okay, so
I'm not ashamed to admit that one. I have no idea.
But anyway, so
Ask me Brady. I know that one.
Vance Joseph is the D coordinator for week 1, Cam Ward's first game that matters. Who are they going to face next week in Tampa?
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Todd Bowles runs that defense.
There you go. Okay. Who are they going to face the following week in Atlanta?
They are facing who is this one? I actually just am not sure I know. Who is Atlanta's DC? Atlanta's DC?
Well, who's their head coach?
Their head coach is
Raheem Morris.
Raheem Morris.
Okay,
yeah.
The defensive guy.
I don't like this test. It's scaring me.
All right. Who are they facing the 3rd week of the preseason when Minnesota comes to Nashville?
That would be you're just exploding.
Stop.
No, I know who he is. I talk about him all the time, but on the spot I can't name him.
Brian Flores. And then you get to Vance Joseph. So you have 3 crazy ass defensive minds before you get to the craziest one.
Yes.
So I think it's also Denard Wilson, who's in-house here, pretty crazy in his own right when it comes to what they're doing. That is, I think, very intentional.
Yes.
I think the preseason schedule was set up to help prepare for the regular season schedule.
True.
Because let's just kind of go curtain a little bit on the NFL preseason. They are not organized by the league. The league doesn't put the preseason matchups into their big, huge calculator to map out all these games and how they work through the divisions and everything.
Correct.
It is a franchise to franchise, coach to coach, kind of like how it's like high school football. Hey, I need a game here. You want to play a game? You want to get this game? I got this week open. You want to do it?
Right.
Okay, sounds good. That's literally the preseason scheduling. And so when the Titans see they've got really good defenses early up in the schedule, then they need to know, let's stack the deck in training camp and in preseason to make sure we're prepared for the batting donut. And then you get into week 1, you're like, all right, I'm ready for this.
Yes, it is very intentional, and I did my best to derail an otherwise good point.
Thank you.
Of yours. If you sat me down with a pen and paper and said, name all the coaches, I could do it. But if you point at me and say, go, I panic.
It's like say the ABCs.
You
you have to think about it.
But my wife would tell you I'm uniquely bad with names. I'll forget our best friend's name if you put me on the spot. Okay. The point, though, being that not only are they difficult defenses for the most part. I mean, Atlanta's defense, I don't want to hype them up too much, but Minnesota
schematic,
right.
And
this is what I'm getting at. The diversity of looks that you're getting, because all of these guys generally are very good at what they do, but maybe more importantly, they are very different types. Well, what Denard Wilson and Todd Bowles run are relatively similar. So you're going to get some of the same in Tampa Bay, but what you're going to get in Atlanta and from Minnesota are different flavors. And what you're going to get from Denver week 1, also somewhat of a different flavor. But by then, the idea is let's make sure Cam Ward has seen as much as he can see, right? Like you hear people talk about, well, there's no substitute for time and experience. Let's get him as much experience and time on task as possible, even be it July still, right? Let's try to get ahead of the game here. And I think, maybe adding an extra day of padded practice is a part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're here August 1st on the first day of the month, and another bonus padded practice because the Titans are mid. So here's my answer. My answer to what can the Titans show us today, Saturday, Sunday, 3 consecutive days of padded practices here at St. Thomas Sports Park. We're going to have so much content, so get ready for that over the weekend. But what I want to see for them to show us that they're less mid on Monday than they are going into today is I want to see some red zone offensive passing success.
Cynically, you're right. That would make the radio folks go crazy.
But
they threw touchdowns.
But they have you think of a Cam Ward red zone touchdown pass in 11-on-11 to this point, or 7-on-7 at this point? There's not one.
Calvin Ridley in the stadium.
Did that?
Not from the red zone.
Red zone.
Oh, red zone.
That's what I'm saying. Red zone.
Well, they've had one red zone period the entire time.
They've had 2.
Have they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
zero.
One padded one, and it went poorly.
0.
Yeah.
Because
they haven't done it.
It's
not
condensed. It's timing, and so I want to see them play on time, be opportunistic, play well in a condensed phone booth because they've worked on a lot of 3rd and longs. 3rd and long is actually when Cam Ward's pretty good. He's got space to do it. The defense doing some certain things. He's not scared. Cam isn't scared to throw something down the field. But in the condensed red zone, I want to see Cam Ward have more success over the next 3 days going into preseason game week number 1, which would be Monday.
I agree. I think that would, whether it is deeply important for their progress at this point or not, provide some juice to the practice that we've not yet seen.
So let's talk about that because a lot of people have made comments about the lack of juice, lack of energy at the Titans practices. Like they've got music, right? The fans have been here just about every practice except for today. So they've got atmosphere to have juice, but there hasn't been that level of hype, energy, bounce. I haven't really seen that. I have an opinion on why I think that is. Have you felt the same thing that others in the market have also talked about?
I mean, a little bit. My conspiracy theory take is that today they'll actually have juice because it's not oppressively hot. That they've just been, their energy has been sapped. Which
their juice has been evaporated.
Right. I'm mostly joking. That's obviously a human element, but you're a football team. That shouldn't matter.
Because in my opinion, when it's miserably hot, you've got to turn to a guy or a guy on the team that knows themselves as the juice guy has to be extra juicy. They've got to do that.
Well said.
Squeeze more to help the other teammates.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So but to answer the question, I have noticed that. I just think it's a pretty predictable result of practice when they're practicing what they're practicing. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I've not been surprised by it as it seems some others have.
What do you think about my theory is that I have a lot of theories today, by the way. My theory is that Cam Ward is a very serious person and isn't just rah hype man. And the team is taking on some of that personality.
I think that is I don't know how true it is, but I think there's there's at least some truth to it.
Right.
And I do think there may be some truth to the idea that as this team kind of refines their identity and the locker room refines their identity, and you've got guys in leadership positions that weren't, you've got new guys, you've got young guys. There may not be, aside from, Arden Key and Jeff Simmons, perhaps, there may not be super established juice guys quite yet. Like the guy that has brought the most general, football guy practice energy on the offense so far, it's probably Mason Kinsey.
Calvin Ridley, I think.
Yeah, a little bit.
Calvin Ridley deserves credit for the way he practices.
With his actions. I'm talking about the hooting and hollering and getting your boys up kind of thing.
Yeah. Because Tony Pollard's a quiet guy.
Yes.
There's no juice there. He's fast, and I think he's having a good camp thus far. But there's not the talkers is this the quietest offensive line the Titans have had in 10 years?
I mean,
from a personality standpoint,
I don't know who was super loud last year. I just think ever since Taylor left, it's been relatively quiet.
And Ben Jones.
Yeah, fair.
So there's something to that. So okay, we'll see how that continues to go along. So you want to get into this Terry stuff?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so I have an opinion. My opinion is also a theory.
I was about to say.
I want to know if people are going to buy or sell my upcoming theory about Terry McLaurin and if the Titans show interest.
Probably going to sell it.
Okay, that's fine. You can sell it all day long if you want to, but we'll get to, I'll have to, don't answer the question yet, chat. I have to explain it first. But we'll get into the Terry McLaurin trade request and what the Titans could or could not be interested in with this. But first, I'll tell you guys about Lipscomb University and their sports analytics program. It is a graduate program for you to help find a path to turn your passion for sports into a career, into a income revenue generating path for you, because we all love sports. That's the reason why we're up here doing this on a Friday morning and going to be here tomorrow, spending our weekends early. 8 a.m. starts on Saturday and Sunday, early working football practice because we love it. And we found a way to have income from it. Lipscomb University can help you out taking that passion into a career as well, an online grad program. They have already exceeded their goal for this upcoming semester.
Ooh,
how about that?
Cool.
So doesn't mean you can't join. Doesn't mean it's too late. Doesn't mean you can't start prepping for the future. If you're an upcoming senior in college, or maybe you know a friend who has a son or daughter as an upcoming senior in college, it's about that time to start working for grad school options. And Lipscomb University can do that from an online standpoint as well. So check them out online with Lipscomb University. So Scary Terry McLaurin has officially requested a trade.
Scary Terry McCormick.
Yes. Can you just set the table and explain the situation that's going on in Washington for us?
Terry wants more money, and Washington does not want to give it to him because he is going to turn 30 this year. That's the primary reason. And also, they don't see his market value as being quite as juicy as Terry thinks that it is. Now, if any NFL player in recent memory has ever earned a little hazard pay for what they have gone through, Terry McLaurin would be maybe number one on that list. If not one, probably number two. He has been through thick and thin with that franchise and has really been misserved for much of his career up until Jaden Daniels showed up last year for the most part. So he wants something in the neighborhood of a annual value that starts with a 3, and the Commanders want to give him something that starts firmly with a 2, something along the lines of what Cortland Sutton in Denver or Calvin Ridley here in Tennessee. Also 30-ish-year-old guys, Cortland being the most recent example that I think made this situation really untenable. I think it's what probably sparked the trade request. He signed for 23 AAV, I think, Cortland Sutton, in that territory, far, far below the 30 mark.
Cortland Sutton's contract was basically Calvin Ridley's from two offseasons ago.
Yeah, it was like Calvin Ridley's adjusted for inflation, essentially.
Yeah.
And so that is the territory that I'm sure that the Washington front office is like, I mean, we could probably do this or like this plus a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking 30, you're about to turn 30. We don't match contracts to age around here. We super don't do that.
Yeah, and the NFL usually doesn't either. Mike Bell says age discrimination. He should sue. It works in maybe other areas, not pro sports.
No.
So look, Jeff says the Titans will be much better with Terry. I think that is the most obvious statement that you could possibly make. I think
find me the team that would be worse.
That's what I was going to say. You could say all 32 teams in the NFL are better if Terry McLaurin is on the roster.
Like the Bengals couldn't need another receiver less, and they would
be better,
significantly
because
better.
You know why? T. Higgins is going to get hurt this year.
How funny would that be? By the way, it's just like they're dealing with the whole defense thing. And they're like, let's trade and sign for Terry. Screw you guys on defense.
Screw you, Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be a theater. Jonathan says Buffalo needs to go get Terry. So let's just. Look, I mean, sure.
Sexy.
I mean,
love.
But again,
I
don't want to get into this yet. I want to throw my theory out there, and I want people to buy or sell.
I've not heard this. Let me hear the theory.
This is, you told me to stop talking when I was explaining that I had this idea in the car earlier. So, if the Titans are rumored to have any interest whatsoever in Terry McLaurin on the trade market, that means the Titans are very, very excited about what Cam Ward has already shown them in training camp to date. If the Titans don't have any rumored interest in Terry McLaurin, it says nothing about what the Titans have learned about Cam Ward. It just means that they are not willing to play in that field, and that's not their philosophy, which is fair. But if there is somebody that comes out and says 5 teams have expressed interest with the Commanders in trading for Terry McLaurin, or they have got Adam Peters has gotten calls from 7 teams, and the Titans are one of those 7. I think that tells you optimism for Cam Ward is even higher than we thought it was going to be.
I see your logic. I think that any rumored interest from the Titans would be just that, rumor. And I think that any technical...
They wouldn't call?
Well, I was going to say, I think any technically factual call to the Washington front office would just be Mike Borgonzi being very thorough in his job and kicking the tires on just about everything. I hear you. Like, I get it. I don't even think it doesn't even register for me, because here's the reality. The 2024 Titans front office would not even entertain this. The 2025 Titans front office certainly is not. It is tempting. It is a sexy idea. It would be so fun. Maybe it's something that you consider in week 8, where it's like, oh, clearly this guy rocks. Before the deadline, let's go ahead and get ahead of schedule, pushing the chips in a little bit. But I don't think that the Titans have made it as clear as they possibly can that they are in the asset acquisition business, not the asset selling business.
Yeah.
And the 2024 Titans front office wasn't even planning on signing a Calvin Ridley to this team, a 30-year-old.
That was a backup plan.
Right. It was a kind of just fell into their lap, and they arguably, what's the word I'm looking for? What is it when you do something on a spur of the moment? Impulse. That's the word I'm looking for. They arguably impulsively did it. My brain clearly is not firing this morning
so
quite
funny.
yet.
Like impulse buy, like you're checking out at Target,
yeah,
and you
yeah,
just buy all the gummies right there that were in all the candy by the checkout line. Calvin Ridley, the best. You impulse bought the best receiver on the market.
I mean, they kind of did that.
Two marches.
It sure sounds like they kind of did.
But like Jason's right. Develop and retain is the opposite of signing, trading for Terry McLaurin. Terry is for a team that has a chance. But what did Terry McLaurin help rookie Jaden Daniels do last year? Be rookie of the year Jaden Daniels, right? Like,
sure.
So he's been this guy who has helped out either inexperienced or lesser than quarterbacks be more productive than they otherwise might. I mean,
he kind of just did what Calvin did last year, though.
He scored 13 touchdowns. Calvin scored 4.
5, I think.
4.
But that offense.
4 touchdowns.
Okay, fine. That offense had more touchdowns to score.
Because they had a better quarterback.
Because they were a better offense.
Yeah, and they had a better quarterback. But but again, Terry from a off the field standpoint has just watched Jaden Daniels come into the league and become rookie of the year and go very, very far, way more blew off the lid of expectations.
And as much as I love Terry McLaurin, he's always been my guy.
He has?
I mean,
I don't know.
My fantasy league mates would tell you he's always been my guy. From a volume standpoint, he doesn't do anything that Calvin doesn't do. You would just have 2 of them now, which is better than one of them, obviously.
Yeah, to Jeff's point.
But it's not better when you have to trade a top 100 pick and then sign another 30-year-old receiver to a $30 million a year deal, a deal that probably blows Calvin's out of the water.
Okay. If the Titans
it's so counter to everything they've told you.
But if the Titans, because we're not living in the reality of that happening, because the Titans are literally having padded practice today, unplanned, because they need more practice. So this is not. This is why
does that scream a team that's trying to push it all in?
That's the point that I made. But like, what if the Titans did not feel the need to add an extra unplanned padded practice and like, oh man, Cam is really on fire. I think we got something here. What if, like, what's the price for Terry McLaurin? And that's where it ends. Like, what if, and what's the price? Because they feel that, because I think you agree that if you know you've got the dude on a rookie contract, go build around him as fast as you possibly can until he is now $60 million plus a year. And right now they could do that. But the Titans are adding extra practices out of thin air because they need more work.
Right. And I don't want the practicing as they need it thing to be blown too far out of proportion. Like, I don't think this was an emergency decision. I think this was a pull the leash.
So this was not an impulse added decision.
Well, I think it was a let's as I think the coaching staff was saying, let's pull on the leash a little bit. Let's yank on it. Let's tighten down a little bit before we go on this road trip. We're going to do some fun things on this road trip. We're going to go karting and top golfing or whatever they're going to do.
Oh, they are.
The go karting thing is happening. The top golf thing, I'm just assuming that's what you do, right? Let's go to top golf. They're gonna have a river cruise.
Is this
dinner.
facts? Are you just making stuff up?
No, they really are. They're gonna like.
You should write an article
in Tampa. They're gonna do like a dinner.
You should write an article of all the things the Titans are gonna do in Tampa.
Well, I'm not gonna be down there, so I told Kaharski to rent a dinghy, pull up alongside their dinner cruise, and then harass them with questions while they're trying to enjoy their nice dinner. So they're gonna do some fun things, and I think the coaching staff is like, let's make sure we
do our homework before we go play in Tampa.
That's right. Let's work hard so we can play hard while we're working hard.
I do the same thing. You're about to go on a beach vacation. You got to squeeze in extra work. You gotta do all this kind of stuff. So
yes,
that's hilarious. I did not know that. So you should actually write an article about all the non-football things the Titans are going to do in Tampa.
Okay, well, I'll do some digging on it.
Okay. Bork says A to Z isn't sending representation on Tampa. Buck's gone. Plus, there's just one day of practice, so we're not sending Easton to that one because that's 2 travel days for 1 day of access. Doesn't make any sense.
Juice and squeeze, folks.
Yes. Now, however, Atlanta, you'll be there in Atlanta the week after that for 2 days of padded practices. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with that coming up over the next couple of weeks. I think we've exhausted the Terry McLaurin content.
Agreed.
They're not gonna do it.
I think we've exhausted this show.
I think we have too, because there's a press conference coming up. But we have one more thing to do. It is Friday, which means it is time for good news. If you have good news in the chat, share the good news. Let's get it going. A good news Friday to send us to a busy practice weekend. Shout out to our friends at Wilson County Hyundai. WilsonCountyHyundai.com is where to go make them a part of your new car buying process. See them in Lebanon online, WilsonCountyHyundai.com. For all of that, I do want to give one more shout out because technically it's August, and so the relationship is paused for the next season. But shout out to our friends at Holiday World and Splash Safari. They're still open for a couple more weeks. JT says he's going in a week. And
didn't invite us.
What a loser.
You know what? Stay in Indiana, JT. Don't come back. Stay in Santa Claus, Indiana.
All right. So good news. Good news here on a Friday. Let's see what we got here. We've got Jeff. Great news. Just bought a new car, 2019 Ford Edge.
SEL. Got
big boy.
Not the base package.
Yeah.
Get some nice trim features.
52,000 miles. First ever car payment. Welcome to
you,
car payment world. Brennan says, my wife's.
So him? You?
Did you get a promotion, Brennan?
Brennan's my good friend from high school, so I have no idea what he's talking about.
I hope you know that everything's okay.
Congrats to your wife's boyfriend, whoever that is. So either happy for you or sad for you, depending on what that message means.
Brock, good news. The Titans are actually being serious in adding practices. You know what? I asked about this.
What'd you think about Austin?
I thought, again, I've been thinking a lot recently.
It's dangerous.
I've been awake a lot of weird hours. So has there been a Titans veteran who's had like an off day?
No, not during training camp.
Yeah.
That is interesting. You're right. That is interesting.
Because it's about now where you start to see the maintenance days come.
Let's add that to the list. Let's add that to the list.
Yes.
Of things to dig on.
Yeah. Zachary, good news. First baseball game at Bristol. This weekend.
Yeah, how about that? That sounds cool, doesn't it?
That sounds.
Who's playing? Who's playing in Bristol?
Reds and Braves. That makes sense.
Nice. Talk about the Braves.
Also, if a football field looks super tiny in Bristol, what does a baseball field look like?
Also super tiny.
JT, is it less tiny or more tiny?
It's got to be at least 400 feet.
Which is how many yards?
Roughly longer than an NFL football field.
But oblong.
Yes. So I think if you're in the part of the stadium that's behind the bases, because I'm sure they'll put it off to one of the ends of the oval.
You know what they should do? They should just do like Little League this thing and have the outfield be the entire Bristol.
Oh, that's good because in baseball there are no regulations on outfield length, right?
The field basically takes up the inside of the track.
Okay, so
for the infield, yeah.
But could you theoretically make the
like
infield
how far
crazy
is center
long
field?
On one corner?
Yes, they should. They should make it.
You've heard of a short porch. How about the world's longest porch?
It's just you better.
You've got your left fielder playing 300 yards deep.
No, it's just don't let it get by you.
It's good baseball.
Yeah,
I'd tune into that.
I think that would be phenomenal.
The Braves aren't going anywhere in the playoffs anyway, so we could, win or loss. This game doesn't matter. Do something fun.
I mean, Brennan, I don't know if Brennan's breaking news to you or not.
Well, hey, Brennan, tell your wife's boyfriend congratulations from me.
Yes. IR Hoshi, school for the kids starts in a week. Great news. I know a lot of people are celebrating that. Jonathan says, good news, vacation starts at 3:30 p.m.
Nice.
Okay. Bort, how about this? Good news, football every weekend until February. How much of the Hall of Fame game did you watch last night?
3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah, that's about what I listened to.
That's not. I sat in front of the TV for probably like 15 minutes. But how much of it did I actually watch? Oh,
JT watched 3/4.
congrats,
For
bro.
those who did not hear that off camera, I literally
Biggest highlight, biggest takeaway.
I almost turned it off.
Hendon Hooker interception is his biggest takeaway.
Guys,
and I endorse that. It's a
I
good
almost
takeaway.
turned it off on the opening kickoff when they had their review.
Right to the booth
I was
review.
like, son of them.
A phenomenal way to start the 2025 season.
Why are we doing this? But I lasted. I think I saw 3 series of offense.
Nice.
Overall. So, okay. Brendan says, thank you everyone for the kind words.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, Brendan's just making a joke.
Oh, he works for astronomer.
What a setup.
This is an involved bit from
This
you,
is a
Brennan.
long play joke.
It is.
Okay, your good news. Go for it.
Very basic and old man, but it has to be the weather this morning. I can't get over the fact that we've done a show. I've stood here for 40 minutes and 38 seconds, and I have not sweat even a little bit, which is
Same.
the first time that's happened since I've been out here.
That's right. That's right. It is awesome. Yeah, the weather, like I sent a screenshot of the weather report into our Titans chat earlier in the week, and it's just like high of like 84, 83, 82.
Incredible. If they want to practice for 4 hours, I'm fine with that.
I'm like, y'all move it to noon. Let's just do this thing for real. Like, come on, let's go out there and try to. I mean, it's not going to get 80 degrees by the time we're leaving here.
Love it. Love it.
Absolutely. My good news is that it's August, which means that football is here. And Easton, you kind of spoiled it, but the migration is over. Yeah, the long month of July of
that scuffed migration.
The new A to Z Sports website that is off and running. And again, I will say this to you guys once. If you have any issues you run along with the new website, please message me, because that's what our entire management staff is doing, trying to find problems with it. And so your criticism is welcome, because it's new. It's going to got some kinks, some weird bugs that we're actively working through. Technology is always fun until it breaks, until it doesn't do what you want it to do.
So go online and complain about it publicly.
Just be patient, because there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Just be patient with us, and we're working through it all. We want the best user experience for you guys. So yeah, new website. It's going to be great. It's going to help us do more features, do more cool stuff on the website, but it's going to take time for us to build there. Just to make sure, Bork says it doesn't work the best on mobile. Okay, send me something why. Screenshots are always valued as well when you have problems. That would help us out quite a bit. But the good news is migration is past us, and it went well.
Thank goodness.
As migrations go.
Cool. Let's watch practice.
Time for football practice. We will see you guys maybe later today. Maybe more content. There's going to be a lot of content. You'll see us more than you normally do over a weekend. We're football practices on Saturday and Sunday. We'll catch you guys later on. Make sure you hit that like button, like the show. Subscribe to the channel, 5-star Google review, and we'll see you guys over the weekend. Thanks.